So I got this message from God the other day, right? This download, and I've been sitting with it for a few days because I don't really know how to deliver it. Like kind of like put it together in words. Like I know what I'm thinking. I know what he said, but I don't necessarily know how to relay it. So here I am. In this life, right? We only get one. We know that. We always say that, like, you only get one life, regardless of, reincarnation, whatever the case may be. This experience, we know that we only get one because we don't know what happens after life, right? After death. And a lot of people strive for this, because I want to have a good afterlife. I wanted this, that, and the third. And that's now, life is the experience. We honestly don't know what afterlife looks like. We don't know what it's like, when you pass on. So why are you trying to build something to reach something that you don't even know if it exists? Right? So you create that experience here. Like you create that life. And that's like why it's so important to maintain a relationship with God, maintain that inner knowing of yourself. We oftentimes like let worldly things get in between us, myself included, get in between who we are at the core. We allow it to get in between our relationship with God also. And it's worldly things, not just money, because they push a lot of things on us to keep us entrapped in this cycle. And I will tell y'all nonstop, I'm not a religious person, right? I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I read the Bible. I watch church on Sundays and all that for a message, for reassurance, for a guide, and as reading that, we all hear about Job, the book of Job, right? How is Job spelled? Job. So when you correlate that with the actual word job, and you think about Job's journey, and then you think about the word job, we were put here. All right, so we were put here. Everybody have their own journeys, right? But that's the work. When Job got to a certain point, God put him through, allowed the devil to come in his life and cause him, a lot of trials and tribulations to build, to test his faith, to increase it, to build it, because he had a bigger purpose. And once he did that, what happened? So don't find yourself, in this life, working these jobs for your whole entire life and not fulfilling the purpose that you were put here. That's when you experience the milk and honey. That's when you experience the abundance, because once you get that certain level of consciousness, that certain faith in God and how he provides and come through for you, the worries of the world, it doesn't affect you in the same way, because you know that God has a greater plan, that anything that happens is for a reason, that anything that happens is a lesson. It's a blessing, but it's always a lesson. And as I got on this journey and got a better knowing of myself, a deeper love for myself, my relationship with God improved, my faith improved, and vice versa. The more I got closer to him, the closer I became to myself, because you can't be honest and real with him about what you want and how you feel and what you expect and all of that if you can't be real with yourself. So you got to dig deep. You got to address some things that you may not want to, you got to do some things and that you may not understand, but it's all for the greater cause. And I think ultimately we let a lot of things get in between that relationship. We can all live that here. We can all have that experience now. This is what he gave us. This is why he created life. Not for us to be miserable, unfulfilled. If it's something in your heart that you know that you want to do, that is your calling, that God is pushing you towards, do it. Do it. Regardless of how that shit looks, how that shit may feel. Do it. Like, I'm doing it. I haven't even received all the things that God has promised me. But I'm still doing it. And when I tell y'all, it's so rewarding. And I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep, delivering these messages and doing these walks with her, doing these conversations with Kay. I have a journal that's about to be released. Like, my purpose is to help people find themselves, help people find God. And I told one of my friends a while ago, like, I don't know, I want to, and this is humbly, respectfully, this was the best way that I could describe at that moment what I wanted to do. And I was like, I want to just like create my own religion. And she like, what? And, everybody get that look when you say that, right? But it's not more so I want to create my own religion, but I want to pull people to God, closer to God, without the religion. I want people to understand how important their personal relationship with God is. Religion, that's all good. I'm here for it. Like I said, I watch church and everything. I don't necessarily, claim a religion. But if that's what you need, if you need that community for because we're two or more gather, right? So I'm all for religion. I'm not anti-religious, but I want people to know that religion aside, because a lot of people stray from religion because of all the things that they've heard, from the expectations. People stray away from the church because they be like, oh, they hypocrites, they this, that, and the third. People stray away from Islam for that reason, and, Jehovah for this reason. We let worldly things take us away from God. And that's the plan, That's the matrix, that's the cycle, that's the trap. You don't need all of that to have a relationship with God. You can sit in your room. You can sit in your car. You could be in the bathroom, wherever. Talk to him. Build that relationship with him. You don't need all of that to receive the milk and honey. I'm proof. And I'm going to continue to be proof to pull people closer to him for that exact reason. I cannot wait until God is done. And not even done, because it's going to be continuous. It's going to be overflow. But I cannot wait until God really shows off. Like, he shows up for me. And, but I can't really wait until he pours overflow over my life. So I can be proof, continue to be proof that he is real. And all you need is that one-on-one time with him. That faith in him, within yourself. That you can have whatever your heart desires. Because you know who placed it there? Yep, God. So you can have all of that. You create the life you want. Don't let this world trick you into thinking otherwise. Don't ever let nobody trick you out your spot. We have allowed it for so long. I'm especially talking to my colored people, my black people, my sisters, my brothers. I mean, this is for everybody. It's open for everybody, but we here, right? They try to distract us from reaching our higher selves. Because do you understand how powerful we are? How powerful we could be if we really walked in our purpose? If we really came together? So that's that's the message. That's the message. Get that relationship with God right. Get that relationship with yourself right. And yes, you may lose people, places, things. You may have to address some trauma that you then swept under the rug. Some shit that you might not even remember may come up. But all of these things that you've experienced have brought you further and further and further away from God. And yeah, a lot of it trickled down from generations. But that's why we're here. to break those curses, to break those generational curses, to heal our lineage. I'm trying to build generational wealth over here, for my bloodline, for my kids, for my grandkids, my great grandkids. And I want y'all to do that for yours too, because why not? Why not experience all that life has to have at the level that we're supposed to experience it at? We're not supposed to be struggling. We're not supposed to be miserable, unhappy. That's not what God wanted for us. But I will talk to y'all later. Have a blessed day. Bye. Mwah.